Time, it's the final straw on a stage that goes over 6 other climbs.
The final day in the Vosges Mountains sets out from yesterday's finish town of Mulhouse, and the climbing starts barely 20 kilometres later on the second category Col du First Plan. The Petit Ballon and the Platz de Basel are both first category climbs and both over 1100 metres. Then come a couple of minor cols to keep things ticking over before another first cat, the Col de Chèvres, where the gradient is nearly 1 in 10 and the descent of which leads pretty much to the foot of the final climb. From there, it's 5.9 kilometres of sharply varying gradient that hits 1 in 5 in the last 250 metres.
There's the signs. 5.9 kilometres remains of today's 10th stage of the Tour de France. We are on La Planche des Belles Filles, and boy, we are going to see these riders just knock each other for everything they've got left in those legs.
Third place rider on the road. Let's not forget Giovanni Visconti, Phil. He's a great rider. He rides for the Spanish Movistar team. But 2 times he's been the national road racing champion. I wonder what's going through the mind of the youngster there, 24 years of age, in second position, Kwiatkowski. He's the best young rider in this race, and he's up with a very experienced Joaquim Rodriguez. And they know they're facing up to a very, very difficult climb.
Well, the only pre-race favourite not in this group, sadly, apart from Contador, who's out the race, is Andrew Talansky, the American rider, because TJ Van Garderen is in this group, and others who will now be viewed as danger men, like Valverde, are in this group as well. And quite clearly, Nibali has told his team to ride. Bauke Mollema is also in that group. The yellow jersey, he's a bit behind as the climb starts. Rodriguez decided it's now or never. He's hit the youngster again, Kwiatkowski, and this time he wants to dance right up to the summit of the day.
Well, you know, this is an unbelievable comeback, Phil. This is a man who, in May, in the Tour of Italy, was looking to win that bike race overall. He crashed out of the event, and now he's coming back to some kind of form in the Tour de France when the roads tilt upwards. It's a pity he's an hour behind in the overall standings.
It is a great pity. It'd be nice to see how much time he makes up of that 56 minutes, I think he's behind at the moment, as he goes towards the end of this racing. And we finish in Paris. Right now, he's done what he set out to do. Some consolation prize to pull on the polka dot jersey tonight as leader of the mountains, as we're going to see them also possibly win the stage. Now we are 5.2 kilometres from the end of the day, and Joaquim Rodriguez is the man who's going forward, and sooner or later Vincenzo Nibali is going to have to chase. 5 kilometres to go.
Well, on the flat, that would take them about 5 minutes, but it's going to take them 12 or 13 minutes here this afternoon as Rodriguez nods away with the top half of his body. He knows he can't slow down now, because the fact is the group behind, they know how to accelerate. Nibali just has a quick look at his teammate here to say, well, the legs are feeling pretty good here this afternoon. He's not showing any emotion on that fake. Queuing up behind him in the white sunglasses and the blue jersey, that is Alejandro Valverde. Just behind Valverde was Richie Porte, but there is Christophe Riblon. Yep. So they're now picking up the 4th place rider on the road.
That leaves 3 riders in front in this order: Rodriguez, Kwiatkowski, and Visconti. They're the only 3 left in front of the Nibali group, and this rider here now losing time, and I think his yellow jersey, which at the moment he still holds by a single second according to the clock. By the time he gets under the 5 kilometre banner, that jersey will again have been reclaimed by Vincenzo Nibali. We're looking at the lonely figure now. It's been a long day for him, and he was put in the right position, but is he just a little bit too young for such a long breakaway in these hills? He's hanging on, Kwiatkowski. This man is riding for his life to win the day, take the lead in the King of the Mountains, and I reckon he'll be given the most aggressive ride of the day as well.
Well, one would hope so, but look at the face on Joaquim Rodriguez here. He is really suffering to get this victory. He's got a big lead in the King of the Mountains competition, but he really, Phil, was talking about winning the stage today. The King of the Mountains competition comes as a bonus. Vincenzo Nibali is there. A little bit further back, I can spot Richie Port, the other rider there. Now, it looks as if Geraint Thomas has had another accident here because he's got a bloody elbow there on the left-hand side.
Well, we didn't see Geraint Thomas go down today, but he's put himself on the back of the race. Now, is he coming back, or is he feeling the effects of a crash at the moment? There's Christophe Ribland just checking out who's in. On the far side, it was Bauke Mollema trying to move to the front. Vincenzo Nibali is looking very comfortable. He's pulling a dangerous man along there, and Alejandro Valverde, an opportunist, and Port is sitting in 5th place.
Well, Port is looking very comfortable. This is the yellow jersey, the man who started the day flying the flag for France. That yellow jersey is disappearing quite a bit as we go to the front end of the group, and you know it's going to be a very difficult battle for Tony Galopin to just hold on to his yellow jersey tonight. It's been a hard day to take the yellow jersey and lose it on Bastille Day, but at least we can always say that he's been there and he's done it.
Yes, he's lost 2 minutes to Nibali now, and that's out of the yellow jersey for the moment. That was a little view of Daniele Navarro as we're looking at the battle in the big peloton. And the lone man trying to ride to the lead is I nearly said Joaquim Agostino, my goodness me. Rodriguez at the front of the race as he drives on 4¼ hours in rain, in chilly weather, and on mountains.
If you've ever ridden a bike before, Phil, you know what it feels like at this moment. You could just see the way Joaquim Rodriguez was pedaling just a few moments ago, how difficult it was to get the pedals to go downwards as we get to the steeper part of this climb, while in the main group behind it is unrelenting. You've got in that group Alejandro Valverde, while the French crowds, I'm not surprised, Phil, they are cheering this man. Well, it's gone theoretically to 23 seconds in the favour of Vincenzo Nibali, and Kwiatkowski, after his yellow dream, is in 3rd place. This is if we just stop the race now, but those gaps can still evolve in the next 3.8 kilometres or 2.5 miles of racing.
Kwiatkowski, 2nd rider on the road, but not very far behind him once again is Giovanni Visconti. And then we've got Daniele Navarro, who's just left the peloton. And the spread now is about 1¼ minutes front to back. And so, you know, this has got every chance of coming together before the finish on the line, because at the top it gets 20% gradient.
You kind of feel in a situation like this as if you'd like to put your hand up towards the television and give Tony Galopin just a little bit of a helping push. He's catching up here with Thomas Voeckler in the dark green jersey, the man who's in the breakaway for a long, long time here this afternoon, as they catch up to the Colombian climber Jose Serpa, who in fact he is going backwards.
Thomas Voeckler there had a great day in the lead, but now he's just got to get to the finish. He's got the yellow jersey sitting on his back wheel. The crowd up front are parting now to allow Joaquim Rodriguez his way through to the finish. Only previously a winner of one stage of the Tour de France. It was a hilltop, but not a big hilltop on that occasion in the town of Mende.
Well, the first 5 riders, first 5 places are spread over just 1 minute and 15 seconds. Rodriguez leads ahead of Kwiatkowski. Visconti is holding on to 3rd place at 47 seconds, while Navarro is a little bit further back. The group of Nibali is at 1 minute and 15 seconds, and there's a lot of the pre-race favourites, Phil, just sitting in this group waiting to figure out what do they do next. I've just noticed TJ Van Garderen, Frank Schleck doing a great ride, while Christophe Ribéry has been caught.
Visconti's just been caught there and put back. There's only 2 riders in front now at the 3-kilometre marker for Joaquim Rodriguez. The only rider ahead of the pack is Kwiatkowski. Visconti has been swept up.
Damage is being done at the back. Rui Costa, number 111. He's champion of the world in the road race. He's slipping backwards. So too is Chris Horner. That's not a surprise, but still now the move coming from Nibali. He's seen this, and the response is coming there from Alejandro Valverde and Richie Port.
Well, this is Nibali making his move and stretching it. Valverde saw it. It was in exactly the right place, but he could not issue it. And we've got Thibaut Pinot also trying to go in the blue jersey. He's aiming for a high finish in Paris. That was the move. He sensed his teammate could go no more. It's now or never. Can Nibali bridge a gap of 1 minute and 15 seconds?
Kwiatkowski, he's gone right by Kwiatkowski. He could be looking at the victory of the stage here this afternoon. He's looking at around about 45 seconds. Kwiatkowski has been dispatched. There's only one rider left in front of Vincenzo Nibali here this afternoon, and it is Joaquim Rodriguez. He used his teammates throughout the whole of the day, and now he is free to fly. He is looking to get himself the victory. He threw off the bottle there, Phil. He wants to lighten his bike as much as possible. He'll be peering around all of these corners, wondering, can I spot Rodriguez?
Well, there's Kwiatkowski. 5 days in, we lost the defending champion, Chris Froome. 10 days in, we lost Alberto Contador, the hot favourite to win. Now the man who set himself up as the favourite in the absence of those two, Vincenzo Nibali, is moving up to the only man who's still riding ahead of him, and that is Joaquim Rodriguez.
Jürgen van der Broek slipping backwards with Rui Costa, with Chris Horner. These guys all being left behind by that massive acceleration.
He's still Riblon here. Richie Porte looking for something, and he looks as though it is still with TJ Van Garderen there. Perrault here, Porte and TJ Van Garderen. Bauke Mollema in trouble.
Well, as we start to make our way through this group, you can see the damage that has been done there. Slipping away there now as well as Simon Spilak. There is Kwiatkowski. He's gone straight backwards. Number 5, Mikel Nieve, the climber from Team Sky. He is also slipping away.
2 kilometers to go for the lone leader, Joaquim Rodriguez, who's been up front virtually all day, being chased by the man for a week who wore the yellow jersey, gave it away yesterday, and he's going to get it back today. And Nibali is now about to see this rider up front.
Well, every time he looks around the corner, he will be peering to see as to whether or not he can pick up a red and white jersey in front of him. Joaquim Rodriguez's body now, Phil, is shouting for surrender. Stop hurting me like this. But this guy knows that not far away from his a stage victory in the Tour de France, but so does this guy too.
This must seem a little bit harder than Jenkin Road in Sheffield, and that was where he took his yellow jersey on the second stage of the Tour de France in the UK. This is a long climb to the finish, and it's at the end of a day of totally long climbs. But can he get up now to catch the Spanish rider?
Well, Romain Bardet is in there for AG2R Le Mondial. Look at that gap, Phil. It is not very much. It's 150 metres. You know, this is going to be very interesting today to see whether or not Nibali can make that distance. It's 22 seconds. It's going to be a tough order. It's just a question of whether or not the man at the front, Joaquim Rodriguez, has got anything left. TJ Van Garderen is in this group as well. That is Jean-Christophe Perrault in second position. Romain Bardet is up there as well. AG2R Le Mondial are doing a great ride here this afternoon.
And such is the way this race reverses. If Bardet crosses the line more than 13 seconds ahead of Kwiatkowski, he will take the white jersey away from him.
Well, 22 seconds behind the leader on the road. Joaquim Rodriguez, he's fighting back from a dramatic crash which saw him exit the Giro d'Italia. Oh, Phil, that's not 22 seconds anymore. No. It's 5 or 6.
That's amazing, and he's got just over a kilometre to go now, and here comes the Italian champion up against the former Spanish champion. He just twitched a little bit, Rodriguez. He knows he's coming. There's a storm brewing on top of La Planche del Belfi. He looks over now. Has he got any legs to pick up Rodriguez? And for the King of the Mountains, by the way, it's double points on this climb. Instead of 10, it's 20 for the first man up.
Well, Phil, the problem is for Joaquim Rodriguez now, even if he can lift it to get onto the wheel of Vincenzo Nibali, when they take that right-hand turn near the top, it kicks up to 20% gradient. You know, it's one of those climbs that if you get out of the saddle, you might pull your front wheel off the ground. It's so steep, but Joaquim Rodriguez has found something special. There's Alejandro Valverde, number 11. There you can see now Richie Porte.
TJ Van Garderen here.
TJ Van Garderen looking comfortable. He's in third position. Richie Porte has said, right, it's up to me now. I have to control this. I've got to limit my losses in a situation like this. Porte starting the day in 5th place in the overall standings. He could be climbing up quite possibly into 2nd or 3rd place tonight.
I think he most certainly will, because we've lost Thiago Machado, we've lost Jakob Fuglsang now. Next would be Richie Porte. Logical thing is he will be up into 2nd place tonight. As we go further down the groups here, the world champion's still here, Chris Horner is still here, but it's all about the last kilometre now. And just as we look here, the yellow jersey is still pushing on. Desperate moments by Tony Gallopin. We're inside, 1 kilometre to go, and Rodriguez will not lie down.
Well, he won't lie down. He's working now with Vincenzo Nibali. This is the little flat part before the right-hand bend, and then it will really kick up. They are riding very quickly indeed. These guys have slowed down. They're giving time to Vincenzo Nibali. He's going to consolidate his lead in the over. That's Thibaut Pinot who makes the move. He's a local guy. He lives about 20 kilometres away from this area.
And his uncle is the mayor of the town as well, as he tries to make it. Now look at the attack here. That was a clean pair of wheels in one smooth move. As now Vincenzo Nibali free to fly to the summit of the mountain today and pull on the Maillot Jaune. He let out on loan for a day yesterday. He just goes around that corner. As he levels a little bit, he'll hear an enormous crowd. Oh, steady on as he gets around. On the upper mountain, he's almost overshooting with pure speed. Now for the two-handed salute, his second stage win of the Tour de France, and for the second time he's won a stage, he's going to claim a yellow jersey. The final kick to the summit for Vincenzo Nibali, who will be back in the leaders' Maillot Jaune. You can hear the voice of Daniel Manjas calling him home now, and the crowd bring him home as well.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Phil, it's an awful long way up to the finish line here in La Planche des Belles Filles.
The final 20% kicker, then he'll see the banner. Every second counts. It all decides by how much tonight he will lead the Tour de France on the day we've lost Alberto Contador in the same manner as Chris Froome with a crash. Well, he was the third favourite to win. 2 have gone, and now he's emphasised that point. He gets the victory, no strength to even give us a salute. The battle for second place is on. Thibaut Pinot hanging on in there, Rodriguez. We haven't seen, as Pinot has done a great ride there. Valverde. Jean-Claude Perrault. And TJ Van Garderen over there as well. A good result for TJ Van Garderen today. Well, Richie Porte behind him. Richie Porte,
so all the big boys there, and the man who is really, sadly, not the winner of the day, but he will be the king of the mountains. But what a ride there, Phil, by Joaquim Rodriguez, who's still dragging himself up towards his finishing line.
Yes, absolutely shattered, but it's been a great day. He'll be happy tonight when he looks at the overall standings in the King of the Mountains. An enormous lead for him.
And Mikel Nieve just coming up there for Team Sky. Once again, the Planche des Belles Filles has had a little bit of a game to play here. There is Rui Costa, world champion, coming forward. Haimar Zubeldia, Frank Schleck just on the back there in the red, white and blue jersey, champion of Luxembourg. And this should be Geraint Thomas a little bit further on. There's Jürgen van der Broek crossing the line. He's lost himself 1 minute and 15 seconds. Chris Horner in the pink sleeves there. Grimace on his face, but good ride. Geraint Thomas as well.
1:22 for Geraint Thomas on the line there, but Richie Porte was up ahead of him and might find himself in the top 3, maybe even second tonight. Now, at 1 minute 34 seconds, it's just passed on the clock, and that was the gap. So I'm afraid that Tony Galopin got mixed up in a real storm on the mountains today and has lost his leader's yellow jersey. It's gone back to the man who has worn it for a week already, and another hero of the day here, Kwiatkowski. At one stage, the leader on the road. Lawrence Ten Dam goes over the line. Look in the distance, though, Kwiatkowski. One stage, the race leader on the road, and now, in fact, he has lost his white jersey as well to Romain Bardet tonight. That's a great disappointment. After everything was going his way, the legs sold out.
Right, let's start pulling together the multifarious strands of the day, starting with the stage result. Vincenzo Nibali's second win of the Tour, 15 seconds ahead of Thibaut Pinot, with Alejandro Valverde and Jean-Christophe Perrault another 5 seconds back. Romain Bardet made it 3 Frenchmen in the top 5. TJ Van Garderen was 6th, Richie Porte 7th and Leopold Koenig 8th. Joaquim Rodriguez finished 9th in the end, Geraint Thomas 19th and Michał Kwiatkowski 24th at 2:13. Tony Galopin finished his big Bastille Day out as race leader in 33rd and in tears. But there were plenty behind him. Tony Martin lost 16 minutes once he ran out of diesel. Peter Sagan was 93rd, Simon Yates 177th, and Thiago Machado, who reportedly abandoned then unabandoned, was last man in, nearly 3/4 of an hour down. So the day after he gave it away, he took it back with a show of authority. And the question is who, other than bad weather or bad luck, can stop Vincenzo Nibali keeping the yellow jersey to Paris? The closest man to him is Richie Porte at 2 minutes 23, 24 seconds ahead of Alejandro Valverde. And only TJ Van Garderen interrupts a run of 4 Frenchmen. Romain Bardet is the leading home rider and leading young rider. Then come Tony Galopin, Thibaut Pinot and Jean-Christophe Perrault. Michał Kwiatkowski's gamble today was admirable, but it's lost him time and the white jersey. He's 1 place and 38 seconds ahead of Geraint Thomas. Simon Yates is an hour and 20 minutes down now, and there are plenty of men behind him. Let's hear them from the first and second place riders overall.
I felt good today, but it's not really great to be towing everybody to the line, but Vincenzo goes, I guess you have to respond. He's got enough time already that you don't really want him to get any more.
Avevo una grandissima condizione, sapevo che potevo lottare per questa tappa e temevo soltanto un Alberto Contador in buona condizione. La sua caduta in discesa era proprio davanti a me, non so come sia successo. Anzi, fortunatamente sono riuscito a schivare la sua caduta, poi per il resto ha avuto anche un grande team che ha fatto un grandissimo lavoro, specialmente nella salita finale con un Michele Scarponi che ha fatto un ritmo molto alto.
I honestly say that it's a shame to lose Alberto like that. It's I hope he's okay, but I think it's going to definitely change the dynamics of the race. I think it probably would have been a harder finale had Saxo have been there, but we'll take it day by day, and I think we're in a pretty good position going into the first rest day.
Joaquim Rodriguez is in the King of the Mountains jersey going into the first rest day and looks a decent bet to hold on to it. At one point, of course, he looked like he might win the stage. It would have been a different stage and a different race had Alberto Contador remained in it, but the more we hear about his crash, the more serious it sounds, and it seems in fact not to have been a single crash.
2 crashes, so first crash he immediately got a bike from Nicholas Roach, and apparently a little bit further his hand slipped from the handlebar and then he crashed again, and that was actually the worst crash. Yeah.
And he's gone for X-rays, is that right? He's gone for X-rays?
Yes, and I just had a phone call from Piana that they confirmed that his tibia is broken and he needs an operation. And it was not a really bad fracture, but that's actually all I know. We don't know any recovery time or nothing.